So, how do you change a pattern? Something that you've been doing a long time. You know it's unhealthy, and you know that you should be doing it something else. From an early age, I've had a pretty unhealthy sexual side, and this might be a little kind of uncomfortable to hear, but being a survivor of sexual abuse, early on I had somebody take something away from me, and my innocence, mainly my sexuality. And my mom, when I first told her, when I came out back when I was 18, she asked me if that was why I was gay, because I was molested, and and I don't believe that's why I'm gay. I'm gay because that's who I am. It's definitely not helped me in some of the choices I've made, and feeling like you had to hide it, and being embarrassed by it. But it's some of the choices that I make today, and how it's connected, how I feel about myself, and some of the choices that I currently make today. And that right there is rejection in itself. When this is not easy to talk about, especially in front of camera. You have for the longest time, all I've ever wanted in my whole life was someone to love me, and not easy. It's funny, like, I didn't really tell anybody until 2000 about being abused as a kid, and and I went through a lot of hard work back when I was living in Chicago back in 2004, and I kind of put it in a little bottle and put it away, and I kind of feel like it's time to start talking about it again, but in a different way. Being gay is not easy, you have to deal with being discriminated against, and just everything that's going on currently, not being able to marry the person you love, and the hatred, and then in the inner community, I've gotten into a pattern. I'm not proud of some of the choices I've made, and I somehow got in the back of my head that that's all I was worth. From an early age, if somebody takes something from you, I didn't ask, I didn't want it, it wasn't my choice, and you learn that behavior. You learn that, oh, you're good for it, and you have enough people hurt you and take things from you that you just think that's all you're worth. And I now realize that I'm worth more than that, but that's after years of a lot of pain and rejection. And each time somebody hurts you, it just replays that first hurt and that first pain, and and I want to have a healthy sexual, You know, the last guy I dated, I loved him with all my heart. And I couldn't kiss someone. I couldn't be intimate. I know it's kind of personal for some of you. And he didn't understand it. Because the love I had for him was pure. And I see sex as being bad and dirty, and that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to make that love pure. I mean, dirty. And it was tough. It still is tough. And when it ended, I just didn't think that anybody would love me, and I wasn't worth anything, and I think a lot of guys, they want to be loved, and they want to have attention and affection, and they get wrapped up in this, and hooking up, and they're scared of getting hurt, and they don't want to take a risk, so they get wrapped up in having, hooking up, and that gets old, and that gets tiring, and then, but yet that's the closest thing to love and affection and attention you can get, and so it's like, you start to think, well, if I'm not going to get it from one way, I'm going to get it in another way, and then when you get rejected, it just blows everything up, and sometimes just life seems so difficult, and and I want to move on, and I know that's one of my problems. I live in the past, and it's hard for me to forgive people, especially the people that have really hurt me, and forgive myself, and then stop blaming myself. But I want to have some self-worth to be able to care about myself, to make some better choices.